Sorry about that. I had to make 2 videos because I ran out of room. But back to the sleeping pad. It's a blow-up frame, and it gives me just a little bit of comfort when I'm on those hard floors. I hardly ever use it because I never sleep in the shelters. I'm always in my hammock, but it's worth it to have, because if you do have to sleep in a shelter, it's going to suck if you don't have some type of sleeping pad. So there's that, and the Tyvek. And then in here I have my underquilt and my sleeping quilt, top quilt. And this is a Granite Gear bag I picked up somewhere along the way, I think maybe Damascus. And these are awesome. They're really light and easy to compress, and it's held up pretty well so far. So that's that. Still have the underquilt with me because even in these warm nights it can still get kind of chilly with the breeze. Okay, let's see. This is just a stuff bag I have with random stuff in it. Toothbrush, toothpaste, some Dr. Bronner's soap, and floss. Got to keep your hygiene up. Headlamp is always essential, whether it be for like looking around at night or night hiking sometimes. Tyvek wallet has been awesome. It's like weighs nothing, a lot less than a normal wallet. Got to have a bouncy ball for fun sometimes. Journal. Actually, I've been doing most of my journaling in my guidebook, but it's still good to have that if I ever need to write down notes or anything. Pringles and Twizzlers are not in my pack, but they are good to snack on. And over here, the med kit is the same. I've taken out a lot of stuff I don't ever use. I've mostly have just a couple of pills, like some anti-diarrhea stuff, some ibuprofen, although I never use it, and nail clippers and moleskin. Not much to that. Never use it. I explained that stuff. Tyvek steak bag to hold my steaks. I know these aren't the lightest steaks, but they hold so well. It's just worth it to have them. I use that with my tarp, which I still have. I always keep on the bottom of my pack, kind of like this. Just tied there. And this is netting, so it lets it dry out if it's still wet when I pack it up. Steak bag. And in here I have the Sawyer filter, which has been awesome. I've had no problems with it. It's filtered all my water. I haven't gotten sick yet, so I guess it's working. And it weighs nothing, 2.5 ounces I think it was. And yeah, and I don't have to taste the bleach like the Aquamira drops kind of taste like. Platypus bag, I've had the same one the whole time. It's been awesome. No problems. Doesn't even look like it's really wearing that much, except the lettering is coming off. That is always good, especially if you need to get extra water. Up here in Pennsylvania, it's been kind of dry. Oh, by the way, I will be out of Pennsylvania tomorrow, which is awesome. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. And, let's see what else. I've got the Scrabble board, which is essential for fun. Doesn't really weigh much. All you need is the board and the pieces in this little sack I have. You don't even really need the board on my Tyvek here. I drew a Scrabble board. So really, if you have Tyvek, you can just draw your own game boards. All I have is Scrabble for now. Maybe I'll expand to Monopoly later. And then I have my guidebook. I made like a little cover for it just to protect it. I just cut the cover, or I cut the top half off to save weight, sent that home, so I only have the last half of it. But that's where I do most of my journaling. I just write kind of where everything happens in the book as it happens, which is pretty cool. It's actually cooler than a journal, I think. Although you don't have a lot of room if you're a big writer. Okay. Water bottles. I've just been using Smart Water lately. It's forever, pretty much. They're just light bottles. They last. I've had this, well, this one's a new one, but the one before this I had for a month, and I had no problems. I just have I have a 1 liter and like a 700 milliliter one, just because you don't really need much more water than that, and if you do, you just go for the platypus. Hiking, trekking poles have been the same throughout. These have been awesome. I don't ever collapse them, but I've noticed after having them for a long time, they don't really collapse well anymore. I guess they get kind of gunked up and they're hard to pull apart, but I never collapse them, so that's not a problem. They are awesome poles and they're pretty light. Not that that matters, but... Okay, onward to the pack, which is a Go Light Jam 50. I've had this ever since I got back on at Watauga Lake, and it's been awesome. It has no real frame. It's got just a foam sheet in there. That is a piece of wood I'm carving. It's American chestnut, which is kind of cool. Been seeing a lot of that lately. Actually, I saw one the other day that had chestnuts on it, which is pretty. You don't really see that much on American chestnut, considering the blight and all that. But anyways, Go Light Jam. The bag is pretty lightweight, but it'll hold up to 30 pounds pretty well. It's held up well. There's nothing really wrong with it. The only thing is maybe a mouse chewed a little hole into the mesh side pocket, but then I did mend it with some thread. Sorry, the lighting in here is pretty bad. Can't really see well. But yeah, the pack's been great. I would say as long as your load is kind of average of 25 pounds or less, I'd say mine averages around like 20 something, then this bag is perfect. I mean, 50 liters, you normally don't even need that much, so you can just roll the top down to compact everything. And it's just got the large pocket and this front pocket, and that's really all you need, along with the side pockets for water, and I keep my camera in it too. Then you have feathers for fun, why not? And it's got some cool feathers. If anyone knows what this feather is, I would definitely like to know. Just leave a comment. I've always wondered since I found it. But yeah, it's been a good pack. I'd recommend it. Not sure what else I can say about that. That's about it. Still have the same $2 Walmart sandals, which have, I mean, they're kind of worn out, but they've lasted for a long time. And I walk around town in those usually, so not bad for $2. And that's it. Yeah. I will do an update video once I get into New Jersey, just kind of to celebrate being outside of Pennsylvania finally. And that should be cool. I guess I will upload this and talk to you later.